Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's been a little while since I had a video last. You can see the stash is back. Got a fresh fade. I hope you've all been doing fantastic. In this video, I'm going to be going over our plan to hopefully smash $500,000 in temporary Christmas light installations this season. I'll show you our org chart, a bit of our marketing plan, and sort of how I expect everything to play out. Just moved into a new house for the year up in North Florida with the boys, so still a bit of a mess, but should be a good time. Anyway, so last year, for those of you that have seen any of my content, we did 165,000, and this was our org chart. Very small team. Like, I was pretty much all of the hats, except like production. So I handled the office manager position, sales rep. I was the production manager. Like, all we really had was a lead tech and then like 3 part-time techs slash installers, and then a little bit of help with like the admin side over on Jill's office. Didn't have a great experience with them, but that's something for another video. Anyway, we really got capped at admin, and it was just too much to handle for just me. Surprisingly enough, like, no issues on the production side. Our calendar was like half full. Like, I looked back at our House Call Pro from last year, and we installed like 3 days a week, maybe 4. So like, I know crew wise, like capacity wise, we could have done double. It was really just a matter of handling all of the admin, all of like the lead requests, and all of that. So we're over hiring this year. This year, I modeled this off of sort of what I expect like 6 to 750K look like in terms of like the financial model, especially like down here. So up here, I'll have sort of the CEO hat. I'll have a production manager slash lead installer, which is going to be Dylan, and he's going to run 3 crews. Again, this is being like super conservative. I think we can be totally fine with 2 crews to hit 500,000-600,000. I think like 1 crew that knows what they're doing is not going to have an issue hitting 300. It's $5,000 a day, 60 working days. So that's sort of what we're planning on there. 3 crews, 2 main ones. One is sort of like a flex. Maybe they're not full-time. Maybe they're part-time guys. Maybe they're just like maintenance, repairs, that sort of thing. All right, but Dylan's going to be leading his own crew and then managing these 2 crews here, 2 other lead techs, and then respectively 2 techs on each, 2 assistant techs on each crew, an office manager, probably some sort of like SDR or appointment setter, maybe VAs, like 2 virtual assistants here to help answer the phones, because we're putting out a lot of yard signs. And consequently, you get a lot of calls, right? And not a lot of those calls are qualified. So a lot of filtering has to be done there. There's just going to be a ton of calls, like too many calls for probably like 1 person, especially like peak November. So probably will need some more support other than just 1 full-time office manager. All right. And then in terms of sales, right now we have 1 sales rep on board, and I have 1 that I might hire. I also might wear the sales hat role a little bit. I enjoy selling. I think I'm good at it. But to grow where I want to grow, unfortunately, I don't know if I can wear the sales rep hat. So 1 to 2 sales reps. Realistically, 1 guy can, with a full calendar, like 7 appointments a day. Maybe let's say even like conservatively like 6 appointments a day, close to 50%, 3 of them. Average ticket of 2,200. You're at just under $7,000 in sales. Times 60 working days, 7 times 6 is like $420,000. So 1 sales rep is probably sufficient. Plus me, like 1 full-time sales rep plus me. But again, this was modeled after 750K, not 500. So last year we did 165. We'll probably have between $100,000 and $120,000 in reinstalls after turn and then like early install discounts. So to hit 500, we'll have to be at about 400,000 in new sales, which again, based on these numbers, a full-time sales rep with a full calendar can hit, which is not going to happen every single time. But that's why there's two. That's why there's model, to account for churn and whatnot and inefficiencies in the system. Now, in terms of like what the actual model looks like. So again, this is for 750K right here, which transparently I don't think we'll hit. I'm pretty confident we will not hit, but I would rather shoot for more and land a little bit lower down than shoot for, like 300K and, pat myself on the back because we hit 400 or something like that. So we're sort of approaching the season like we're going to blow past 600. So last year, we had a 141,000 in new sales with a 2250 AOV. So that's 63 new sales, approximately 100 appointments. I didn't do really good at tracking this, but I know it was around 100. And then I do know our raw lead numbers. It was 1,080 leads, which is abysmal. And when I say abysmal, I mean this number right here is 10% conversion rate from leads to appointments. Is just disgustingly bad. Part of that is from yard signs. Almost nothing you can do about that. Maybe you put like a filter on the yard sign that says like $1,000 minimum, but that'll probably reduce your calls to like 0, especially if you're in like a lower income area. We were just noticing that with Facebook ads, like filtering. Just if you're not in a spot with like the general population is like a little bit on the wealthier side. Like I know if I ran the same campaign in New York, it would absolutely crush. But we're struggling a little bit in terms of like filtering. Like last year we had like $10, $11, $12 leads, with like virtually zero resistance on the lead form. Just name, phone number, submit, and then like, obviously details on the service and whatnot. And then we would qualify after they submitted the lead form. And maybe like 1 in 5 would be like decent leads, maybe. And this year we're seeing like a $60 to $70 lead cost with that filtering form already there. So I'll probably look for something with a happy medium, with, a little bit less resistance. I'm going to test a VSL in a lander and see how that does. But anyway, so yeah, 1,080 leads came in last year from our website, from Facebook, yard signs, just all sources combined. And then 10% of those, less than actually, is 1,080 to 100, approximately 100 appointments, less than 10% converted to appointments. 63% of those closed, with an average ticket of 2,250, 141,000 in new sales. All right. Now, if you extrapolate that, right, and model it for 750,000, fixing the funnel, I think we could get at least to a 20% conversion rate, all right, from leads to appointments, but I'll break it down this way. So it's 750K, and again, assuming we do better in all regards, with a 2,500 AOV this year, it's going to be 300 installs with a 50% closing rate. That's 600 in-person appointments and 3,000 leads. A lot of leads. Ideally, we get that number, like ideally this number is even lower. Like I want this number to be as high as possible. That means our filtering is really good. Again, yard signs, there's nothing you can do. But like I want this number to be as high as possible. Obviously I want this number to be high, but this is the number that I really care about, is qualified in-person appointments. So if you break it down per day, 60 working days, we get 12.5K per day, 5 installs a day, 10 appointments a day, and 50 leads every day. The only thing that looks intimidating here is like 50 leads a day. Realistically, everything else on this model does not look insane. Like 12.5K a day consistently is difficult. Our best install days last year were like 14,000 with a crew of 3. And this year we're planning on having 3 crews, maybe like 2.5. So I don't think the actual production side is going to be crazy. I don't think doing 5 install days is going to be crazy. I don't even think handling 10 appointments a day is going to be crazy. Because if you're really stretching yourself thin, one sales rep can do that. Like if you want to run like fucking 12, 13 hour days, like 8 to 8. Ideally 2, right? If these were virtual, that'd be no problem. But we run all in person. But 1 to 2 sales reps here, and then this is where things get crazy, right? 50 leads coming in every single day. They need to be, the phone needs to be answered. They need to be nurtured, followed up with. qualified, right? So you have this, and then you have current customers and like maintenance calls and all of that stuff. So that's why I'm thinking, I talked to one of my buddies who has a way bigger light install business than me, and he was like, dude, you're gonna need way more support right here in terms of just like one office manager. So that's why I'm thinking we'll have either a VA or two, and then maybe like an appointment setter, SDR, hybrid role. We'll see. It's still early. We're still filling this out. Right now we have a couple technicians / installers ready to go. I'm ready to send an offer letter to a sales rep that I'm probably going to send an offer letter to, a virtual sales rep that I may or may not send an offer letter to, because I don't know if we're going to need to. Still looking for an office manager currently. That's going to be a virtual position. And then honestly, an appointment setter is not going to be hard to find. I might have the virtual rep also like double down like as an appointment setter, kind of have like a little bit of a hybrid role. He'll make a little bit more money too. So anyway, this is sort of what it looks like, right? When you break it down. And same thing for like a 300K goal. It's all math, right? It's all just financial model. So like 300K with a 2,000, and these are all conservative numbers that I was going over with some guys in my group. So like 300K with a $2,000 AOV, 150 installs, 50% close ratio, 300 appointments, 33% conversion rate is 900 leads. Keep in mind, this is all new installs, right? Like these figures in terms of like this, like sales velocity, like the leads, the appointments, right? This is, totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, this is for new installs. Obviously, like the production stuff, like this is to sell and install and produce new installs, right? So like if you have $100, $200, $300,000 in reinstalls, like that can just be, and those could all go up in October, right? Maybe even late September. Like we're starting to install like mid to late September. So that's a separate figure, but we're modeling off of new right now. So yeah, like that's $5,000 a day, 60 working days. One crew can do this, dare I say, with relative ease. 3 installs every day. Less than, but it rounds up, right? Can't do half an install. 6 appointments, 15 leads every day. And as long as all of these KPIs stay consistent, obviously they're not going to be exact. Like if your conversion rate ends up being 10% like me, maybe it's 50%, maybe you need less leads, maybe you're closing at 30%, there's a hole in your sales funnel, or whatever the problem, maybe you're closing at 80% and you need to raise your prices. Or maybe your AOV is like 1,100 and we need to work on our sales and brand a little bit, and targeting too, like who we're actually putting ads in front of if we have an 1,100 AOV. Anyway, that's sort of our plan. We're spending a lot of money on ads to generate these 3,000 leads right here. Just put my nuts on the table and we're going to see what happens. And it's going to be a fun time and you guys get to watch. All right. If you are a holiday light installer or you want to start a Christmas light business this year and make a ton of money, DM me on Instagram, just DM me lights. We have a program full of other high-level operators who are also trying to make a ton of money with Christmas lights. 15, 20 hours of training material, all our SOPs, all our documents, 2 group calls every single week, and a private Slack community to ensure that you have a very fun Christmas light season. If that is of any interest, DM me lights on Instagram. Otherwise, I will see you guys probably tomorrow. I'm going to try to do a daily video every day in September and see how that goes. I'm going to try to do a daily video and 3 TikToks all through September. It's lock-in time. Let's go. I'll see you guys tomorrow.